Hello and welcome. I'm live with Staggerson Jagz. We're gonna talk about his beliefs or non-beliefs, as you may take it, and how he came to be that way. So, would you like to introduce yourself, Staggerson?
My name is Staggerson Jagz. If you're here on the Moles channel, you probably already know me, but if you don't, you should subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was looking for. So I guess we could start out by oh shitty. Sorry about that. I'm an idiot. So I guess we can start with have you always been an atheist, or did you grow up in a Christian home, or did you
Well,
have you always been an atheist?
that's a little bit complicated. When I was a kid, I didn't really know what was up. I just sort of accepted what people told me. As I became a teenager, it became evident to me that I really didn't like. They told me fucking Santa Claus was real too,
Right.
and the Tooth Fairy and shit. So I was like, whatever. And I actually remember one time when I was about 14, I was having some problems and I was being an emo kid and shit. And down and asked me if I believed in God. And I just lied to her to get through the conversation. I didn't want to upset her. And I knew this was a heavy thing. And I knew how people were serious about God. And I just didn't want to have this argument with my mom right then.
Yeah.
So I told her I did. And I sat there and I prayed, but I didn't believe it.
Right. Right.
Picked up my copy of the Satanic Bible and opened it to her. I had it bookmarked.
Yeah,
I read that.
I went through
I
that
read
phase
that book
too. Did they go to church or anything though, or was it just something she kind of?
No. My mom didn't ever go to church or anything.
Yeah.
We kind of went to church a couple times when I was a kid, but nothing real serious. Nothing I remember that well. I went to Sunday school, but it always made me feel really uncomfortable. I was never comfortable there. I never knew what I was supposed to be doing. What was going on? It seemed like they were talking about shit that didn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah.
And then I remember at one point I was living with another family, and thing happening, and the boy who was a year older than me, I remember this vividly. We were talking about, but he started mentioning how back in people would live upwards of 6, 7, 800 years, and I remember thinking, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like I was like 13, okay, and I knew it said that in the Bible. I knew that the Bible said that those people lived that long. In my mind, it just never clicked that anybody actually believed that that's really what they meant. I knew that this ancient book had gotten something wrong. You know what I mean? And this kid was telling me this, and I'm like, are you fucking for real? This is insane. So all through my teenage years, I didn't believe in God up until I was about, I don't know, somewhere right around 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there, it just started to seep in. I drank a lot. I did a lot of drugs, and I just started to think that maybe I'd been closed-minded. You know what I mean? I started to open myself up to the idea of God, and started to sort of, and over the course of the next 10 years, I started picking up all kinds of crazy beliefs. But I was always looking for the truth. I wanted to know what was true. And I abandoned my atheism known, and I reached out into the world to look into all these other religions. And by the time I got around to learning a lot about Buddhism, and thing basically pulled me out of it, inspired skepticism in me, because Buddhists teach a lot of different things, and it depends on the question you ask and who's asking the question. But Buddhists can be considered an atheist religion.
Almost,
they really believe in a god. Some of them hold Buddha up as a godlike figure, but not all of them. The Dalai Lama most certainly seems to be an atheist to me.
Right.
Anyway, this realistic approach to the world. He even said once, Buddhism don't agree with each other. Buddhism can always change.
Right. Like Buddhists and Jews. Jews don't really bother me so much, because have you ever seen a Jew try to convert anybody?
No, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, they're like,
except for in the Bible.
They're like atheists.
Well, even in the Bible, they didn't try to convert people. They just killed them.
Yeah, they're like atheists, like.
Yeah, and just don't eat the ham.
I have a similar experience on exactly almost to the T on, but I did a lot of drugs and I was always like I always kind of I went to my mom and dad never went to church, but they sent me to catechism class. I was like, this fucking shit doesn't make no sense, man. And then I did a lot of drugs and drank, that, and I got clean and I went to AA though, and that's where they fucking like made me second guess my first opinion on there might be a God, And then along came a girl. There's always a girl. But then
well, you have to. You have to at AA. You have to at least question that. You have to at least open yourself up to the possibility that there's a God. It's part of the process. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with entertaining the idea.
Yeah. I mean, I was just pretending, you know how they say fake it until you make it kind of thing. That was kind of what I did, man. And I did make it. I mean, I finally realized that higher power could be the group. I could use them as my, as my.
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned AA because I finally sobered up, still believing in God. 32 years old, or 31, or maybe I was 30. I think I was 30 years old when I had my last drink and did my last bit of dope.
Yeah.
And that doesn't count weed, obviously, but I remember sitting in an AA meeting one time, and everybody was going around the room talking about their own conception of God. I'd spent a lot of time learning about religions and what different religions' conception of God is and what God is supposed to be. And I happen to know for a fact that most of these people consider themselves Christians, and they're going around basically saying in more or less words, you could just make up God.
Yeah.
God. Everybody make up your own God. And I thought, have you faggots read the Bible? Because if you read the Bible, what you just said is worthy of
blasphemous.
Death.
Yeah, blasphemous.
That is the highest order of blasphemy. It even says in Sodom and Gomorrah, each man, I believe it was Sodom and Gomorrah, or maybe it was another one of the cities that he destroyed, or maybe it was the flood. Each man made unto himself his own God. And that was a great sin that was worthy of mass executions.
Right.
That was one of the catalyzing moments for me. And this was only a few years ago. But what really was is I was always interested in the truth. I always wanted to know what the truth was. I set aside my confirmation bias in the pursuit of knowledge of science, evolution a lot, and space, and the origins of the universe and the galaxy. And then on the sides of that started leaking in more skeptic type content. And before I knew it, I was with a girl. And when I got with her, I was religious, and I sort of considered myself a type of Christian in one way or another. That Jesus existed. I have been pretty familiar with the lack of evidence for Jesus having existed, believing in God. I have a pragmatic belief in Christ. His ideas are good. People should follow his ideas. But I was with this girl, and I was knee deep in woo-woo when I got with her while I went through the transformation. It started simple stuff like watching Adam Ruins Everything. Getting that in me. You know what I mean? Those are real bits of knowledge. Oh, sugar does not make kids hyperactive. That's a fact. That sugar makes kids hyperactive. It's 100% the placebo effect. Stuff like that.
Right.
Just interesting little tidbits. And then I know the truth. And I was always after that. And this is the same thing religious people want. They want to have some truth. That they stop short of actually getting it, and they just get an idea and consider that truth, and then they can sit comfortably with the idea that they have the truth.
I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it. I think part of it is also like they're afraid. Go ahead.
I just sort of took it a step further. I've always been fairly scientific minded. I like to consider myself fairly scientific minded. And really was true. You know what I mean? I understood all these different religions couldn't be true. And when you hear stuff in an AA meeting like everybody make up your own God, it was like, that was after I'd already started to question everything. And when I heard everybody saying that, I just thought, you guys are just making up fucking stories for yourselves. You know what I mean? And if it works, it works. But that's not what I'm after. I'm not after something that just works. I want to know what's real. I want to believe as many true things as possible and as few false things as possible.
Right.
Pretty much. So
I think that Christians, I'm just, this is subjective, obviously. I don't know for sure, but I think a lot of Christians aren't Christians because they love God so much as they fear Him. You know what I mean? Like, because infinite pain for a finite crime doesn't seem like a very loving God to me. I mean, that seems like a shit deal. Seems like a shit deal.
Yeah. But the Bible says you should fear God. I remember one time I was talking to somebody about the Bible when I was a believer, you know, and I never said the Bible was the absolute truth or anything like that. I knew it was written by fucking cavemen. But I turned somebody onto the Bible because I told them there is some pretty good stuff in there. I misled them is what I did. But that was a mistake on my part. I didn't intentionally mislead them. But they came back to me one day and they said, I've been reading that Bible of yours, and I think that you should take every instance of the word fear and replace it with love, and you'd have a pretty good book. And I thought, oh, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, but you're not allowed to do that. The Bible, that's blasphemy. Yeah. You know? It's only been a few years since I haven't been a believer, and it's all still new to me. I'm barely getting out of stage 1 atheism.
Yeah.
Videos every once in a while and get all mad.
To be honest, I've always been, like I said, I've always been somewhat I guess I've always been an atheist, but like AA and then the girl in quick succession, and her family is super religious. We're still together, to be honest with you, but me going to church with her is what sealed my atheism back with me, because I was like, man, I'm like, now, I mean, once I was an adult and I can like think logically, I'm like, this is a bunch of fucking shit, man. And then probably within the last, probably less than you actually, is when I started watching YouTube videos, and I started with like Armored Skeptic, and then it Logicked, and you know, from there. And I mean,
well, since you mentioned YouTube videos, I do want to be clear to anybody that's watching this. Those had everything to do with me becoming an atheist. If you feel weird that you're getting your views from YouTube videos, or it seems like an unlikely place to get your worldview, don't feel weird. That all YouTube is fellow humans sharing their information. I got all my woo from YouTube, and I've got all my critical thinking from YouTube. I mean, obviously not all of it, but YouTube videos were when I finally say out loud, it's okay to question these things. When I hear Matt Dillahunty just put a stupid idea on the slab and chop it with a fucking axe.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I go, oh, I don't have to play stupid mental gymnastics. I can go, wait, no, that doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah.
I just, my girlfriend broke up with me.
Do you know who Richard Carrier is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty awesome, dude. I sat and watched a couple of his lectures, and that was some good shit, man. I mean, like you said, right.
Existential transhumanism in the chat just said he got out of Christianity with Buddhism and into atheism with YouTube. It was pretty much the exact same for me.
Right. So has atheism affected your life in any way negatively?
Yeah, I lost my girlfriend.
Okay. Well, I haven't lost mine yet.
I also lost my imaginary friend.
that one.
Okay, let me tell you something. Last night, I was having a moment after my kids went to sleep, and I thought about something that had happened earlier in the day when I got a little bit impatient with them, okay? I didn't beat them or scream at them or anything like that, but I did raise my voice a little bit, and it was probably unnecessary, and it probably wasn't as helpful as my ego would like me to think it is in the moment. But as I stood there having that thought, urge to pray for patience popped up in my brain out of habit from so many years of doing that. I knew that's not what I was going to do. But then I started to think to myself, and I started to feel sad for just a second. And I thought, for not being able to pray for patience. And I almost let myself dip into that darkness, bad about myself, or feeling like it was better back then. And I thought about it critically, and I thought about how often I used to yell, how often I used to freak out off of people. And there has been a steady patience over the years, regardless of whether I believed in God or not. You could take God out of the picture, I mean, you should look at the graph of my patience, and it's just a steady rise years. And I don't think that believing in God happened. I don't think that disbelieving in God made it start happening more. I think it's just a side effect of me getting a better grip on the world around me and knowing what's good for people around me, that I've lost that. But it was nice sometimes to be able to sit down and just pray. Sometimes that's a good way to get your thoughts together and put your problems out there. But it's useless. It's useless other than that. You can still do that. You know what I mean? You can mumble to your bed sheets. You can meditate. I still meditate.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just inner reflection, isn't it? Self-reflection, however you want to call it.
Some people use it for self-reflection. I use it in the more pure sense. I try to just take a break from thinking about anything, get every thought out of your head for just a few minutes.
I can't do that.
It's hard. It's really hard to do, but it's practice. You practice it, and you just kind of try to do it. It's make an effort.
Yeah.
And
I would like to. I
mean, you're not going to get zapped with universal consciousness. You're not going to have a rising of the Kundalini, and your third eye is not going to pop out of your fucking skull. Grip on what's important. It clears your mind, and it gets all the emotion you have tied to a situation off of it. Then you reboot. You bring all the same. When you're done meditating, your problems didn't go away. Don't worry about losing your reason to complain. You'll still have all your problems when you're done meditating. It's fine. Have every problem you had when you started, but you're not going to have it's not all going to be tied and tangled up with other shit in your brain. Now you've taken a minute to separate the chaff and the fucking
wheat from the chaff.
Yeah.
What I meant. I at times, I actually, to be honest with you, I wish there could be some kind of God. I don't want the Christian God. That guy's an asshole. But I mean, why wouldn't I want there to be a God? I mean, I would like to think that maybe we would exist beyond this existence. But it's just not.
You want to know?
Logical to think so.
Want me to tell you what I preached about God? Because I had my own fucking conception of God pretty much built up, but it was based on, compilations of this and that. And I just thought I was one of these new age woo-woo Christians that thought that God was all loving, believe the Bible. I thought that was a bunch of horse shit. I was pretty sure they were just attributing things to God that didn't exist. I didn't think God had a name. Forgiving. I thought everybody was going to get into heaven regardless. Yes, Hitler's in heaven. Yes, all his... then yes, you're going to go to heaven. Yes, your murderer is going to go to heaven. Everybody is going to go to heaven. That's what it is. And I thought that because none of this has any meaning whatsoever. It's once you become eternal again, you were there before you were born, and you go back there after you die. And this was all just a game. So you get up there with Hitler and you go, holy fuck, remember how hard we were freaking out about all those people you killed? And he goes, I know, right? Why was I even worried about killing everybody, And everybody's in heaven having a good time laughing at the people on earth killing each other.
That would be beautiful.
You know what I mean?
It would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice, but I didn't believe in hell. I never believed in hell. I always thought that was stupid.
Yeah.
That. Why?
Right.
Why not just make this eternal then,
The Satan story, he didn't seem like that bad of a guy. I mean, if he got punished for eternity, for that, come on, it was his job. He was like the prosecutor. He got in trouble for fucking doing his job. What a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's bullshit, man.
So what made you decide to start a YouTube channel? I mean, just like everybody else, you watched YouTube, thought it was like fun.
Well, yeah, I thought, look how much fun they're having. Look how cool that is. And what if, there's always that,
Yeah.
honestly, I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. For years and years, I've wanted to do a YouTube channel. I never really had the motivation to do it. Everything that you needed to do it, which honestly, I've got way more stuff than you need. You know what you need to make a YouTube channel? You need a fucking cell phone. That's all you need.
Yeah. And courage.
Tons of people. Yeah, tons of people are more than, they're more than successful with just their fucking cell phone. But I've got all this equipment, which is, I love buying equipment. That's
yeah.
Ideas out there. I've always wanted to share myself with the public. And ever since this happened, this was a very changing thing for my life. I mean, my life changed a lot when I became an atheist. Sober at the same time over this course of the years, you know what I mean? And I'm 3 years sober. I'm still learning to be sober.
I've got almost 5. I mean, April 16th will be 5 years, I believe. And it is a learning experience getting clean. I mean, it was a
clean.
I guess that is the thing. But getting clean was quite a fucking hurdle, man. I mean, that was my security. That was my God. That was my security blanket. I mean, I could do no wrong as long as I had dope. It seemed like. I promise you the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't want to. I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I thought, that was like it'd be fun, And then I realized really how much work it. I mean, anybody can make a YouTube video, but making good content and making a YouTube video are totally different things. I mean,
yeah, I made 2 or 3 videos before I ever even uploaded one. And my first video that I did upload is still on my channel. And if you want to go cringe at my very first video, it's called Flat Earth Denier Learns to YouTube. You can hear in my voice how my lack of confidence, you know what I mean? I'm kind of quiet. And I sort of through the words I'm trying to say. If you watch my first video compared to like the last one I uploaded, you'll see a way big improvement. And I do need to upload more. I haven't had a whole lot of time to do that lately, and it's been pretty crazy in my personal life. But I do plan on uploading more videos. Anybody out there who cares?
Yeah, I do. I like watching your content. I mean, like we don't like. I learn things from watching your videos that I wouldn't learn from just chatting with you normally. I mean, and when we're just in a normal conversation, like we're just bullshitting on a stream. I mean, we don't always get all of each other's points. You know what I mean? So I can learn stuff from watching your videos, and I still talk to you quite regularly. So I mean, videos are a big deal, and that's what kind of want to. I was just a streamer, but I made a couple videos now, and I want to keep making videos because I mean, I can't just stream, and I also like to do bullshit streams, but I would like it to be more serious. I don't want to just be, I mean, anybody can just get on YouTube and talk about cancer as bullshit all day long, but I'm a fairly intelligent human being, and I have some ideas of my own that I would like to, put out there. So I can't really do that. That's okay.
But Mercolium is getting all first cause in the chat.
But
nothing came before the universe. There was no time before the universe. There was no state of existence.
It's hard to say.
There was not a state of being before the Big Bang. It wasn't nothing as a thing that existed. There was no state of existence before the Big Bang. Time began at the Big Bang.
It was like a stopwatch.
The universe is finite in the past.
You should call it the giant stopwatch. So are there any YouTubers that stand out in your mind that made you want to start making videos?
Oh. Apart from the atheism thing, I also got sucked into the anti-social justice stuff really hard right off the bat.
I did too at first.
Because those and I still like to watch some of them.
Yeah.
And so that was a big part of it too. I really like to watch people I really liked when Armored Skeptic was doing before he kind of crashed and burned. I still like what he does when he puts out actual skeptic videos. I like the work that he puts into it. You know, well, I really was impressed by them and a lot of inspiration on what I wanted to do. And I have to say, I don't care. Some people are going to think this is stupid. TJ Kirk is one of my. I don't idolize people, but I really I agree with a lot of what he says, and I really like the way he.
I would say Logic's probably my number one. That motherfucker's got some rock solid arguments, man. He looks at everything from every.
Oh yeah. I was going to say Logic too. He's one of my favorites now.
Oh yeah, he's got some rock solid arguments for real. Is there? Do you have any special plans on what you're going to be doing for videos in the future, or do you just watch content and if something grabs your interest, you do it on that?
Got a few things in the old downloads folder that are waiting to be responded to that I just haven't had the time to get around to. Content like that video I did that was stuff that's not necessarily atheism, but it's still about questioning idiocy that I see around me. I just want to, so just pretty much the same kind of stuff I've been doing. I want to up my production quality a little bit.
Right.
I want to be able to, I might just start shooting videos against this ugly fucking wall because fuck it.
Well, it's just a blank wall. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean,
it's patches and shit on it, but yeah, it's not that bad. The screen right there takes up a lot of fucking room, way more room than you would think. And these are lath and plaster walls, so I can't put thumbtacks in them. Hey,
we're recovered drug addicts, dude, so everything to us isn't that bad. I mean, when you ate out of trash cans and shot up with toilet water, fucking cracked wall ain't too bad. Maybe that's why I'm so easygoing now. It's pretty easy to be easygoing. Because my life was fucking a mess, a hot mess before. So, are there any besides YouTube? Are there any like secular sources that you like a lot?
It's not that much.
Like Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens. I know you can find them on YouTube, but I mean,
you're saying not YouTubers. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
But I do find people on YouTube. You know what I watched today for the first time ever, and I highly recommend this to everybody.
What's that?
Bertrand Russell's "Why I Am Not a Christian." It was recorded in like 1927 or something like that, and I can't believe I made it this far without ever listening to that. That shit is amazing.
What's it called again?
Okay, the guy's name is Bertrand.
Yeah. Is it Bertrand Russell, you mean? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the British guy? Yeah. I've heard of him before.
Yeah. There's a thing called Why I'm Not a Christian. And he just nails it with such eloquence, dude. It's so amazing.
I have a book on atheism that has like essays from like as far back as like I think the mid 18th century. So like the 1750s. Onward up to the modern era. I think it like ends with, I think it was written probably in the 90s or the early 2000s. So I think the last entry is probably Carl Sagan. So I think that points to it's written kind of earlier, you know what I mean? So
Carl Sagan is probably one of the dudes that gets credit for ever having put a pebble in my shoe about 10 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I love science and I was always looking for the truth. And you can't start looking up alien videos without running into Carl Sagan. And if you mistakenly get the impression that Carl Sagan is going to back up your confirmation bias that aliens exist and you accidentally click on a Carl Sagan video, he's going to tell you what he really thinks. So listen.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about
it? He says, I wish I could believe that a God was real. I just don't see any evidence for it. And that put that pebble in my shoe so many years ago.
Right. The evidence.
I was always trying to prove him wrong. To prove somebody right.
Yeah. I think to be honest with you, I watch Christian videos. I think I just watch them to scoff almost. Or maybe I don't know, but I think they're hilarious. Some of them, like I hate watch Steve Anderson. And I watch Kent Hovind and Ken Ham occasionally, to get a giggle out of them.
Yeah, I follow Ray Comfort on Twitter.
Yeah. Wretched. Have you ever heard of that channel on YouTube? That's a funny Christian channel. It's got like
No, I haven't.
They're just like this preacher that's like, I think I'm gonna do a couple videos on that because they got this preacher that's like, he's like almost crying in the pulpit. He's like, don't you just know that you ain't getting Jesus' love? I mean, he's like almost like Emmett in fucking real life, but like a whiny Emmett. So like, it's pretty funny. So
I love doing the Emmett videos. If I didn't myself, because I didn't want my channel to be purely Emmett videos, I probably would be uploading Emmett videos all the fucking time.
Right.
Not every video I upload to be an Emmett one. But those are so quick and easy to make. It takes me 10 minutes to shoot one, and it takes me 10 minutes to cut it up, and it takes an hour to upload it, and it's like done.
Right. Why don't you? Would you start an Emmett channel, or do you think it would be? Or do you think it'd be redundant to do so? Because I mean, do you think everybody do you think everybody on Twitter has figured out? I mean, obviously, I doubt there's any Twitter people that are watching this that don't know who you are. But
it's got about 60 followers, and I think about 10 of them are Christians and flat earthers.
Oh wow, that's funny. Yeah. Flat earthers. I don't know. Creationists and flat earthers. I mean, it's almost a toss up between who I despise, or who actually not even despise, but who I just hold in contempt. I mean, they're just fucking idiots. I mean, not idiots necessarily, but no, flat earthers are idiots. But creationists are just ignorant. There's a difference, I suppose. But I'm sure there are some idiots in there.
Well, okay, I'm gonna, I've been doing really good at not addressing the chat while you're trying to interview me. And I'm gonna say something that will address something that Mercolium's saying. Anyway, and that's that can believe whatever they want.
Oh yeah.
In the path of skepticism, because I believe that it is the most reliable source of believing truth, believing untruths. So I don't believe the expansion and contraction theory because there isn't any evidence for that.
Right.
I go with the standard model tentatively. Comes out that the standard model is wrong or needs to be updated in some way. Solid. I will follow that. Always open to changing my mind. I'm always open to following the evidence, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. I don't believe in unicorns. That doesn't mean they don't exist. I don't believe in Russell's teapot. It exists. It means it's a useless proposition to me because it's unfalsifiable.
Yeah, that's
I choose decision to not believe things for which there is insufficient evidence. My own reasons, I think that is the best way for me to live my life. If you choose to believe Deepak Chopra's bullshit, then go right ahead. I mean,
right. I mean, yeah, wouldn't it be cool? I mean, I just go where the evidence takes me. I mean, but I would love magic to be real and fucking a whole bunch of things. It'd be fucking cool as shit. It would be awesome, but it's just not. I mean, it's fiction. You might as well just take it for what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I dabbled in magic, Wicca, Satanist magic, all kinds of different paganism, and I, at a certain point within a few years, I had to stop and admit to myself that magic was working, convincing myself of it. There was some other explanation. There's just some other explanation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, being magic would be awesome. Yeah. I
used to believe in ghosts. I even have ghost stories. I saw ghosts when I was a kid.
Right.
Stories I told all my life, and my mom corroborated. We lived in a fucking haunted house. Now I look back and I go, well, maybe I was a kid.
Right. Like, I mean, I've had things where I couldn't explain it at first, but then when I sit back and logically look at it, I mean, I can usually, put the pieces together and figure out, what it was, or I'll just not even think about, if I can't figure it out, I'm just like, well, whatever. I'm missing something, I mean, there's no there's no crazy explanation for it. It's something that's rational. I just don't know what the answer is. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't know everything, and I doubt I'll ever know everything. And I've done enough damage to my brain probably that I don't remember shit. So I can learn something new like 3 or 4 times before it sticks. I'm joking. It isn't that many times, but I mean, you know what I mean. Do you who have you been? If you ask me, YouTube's been shit lately. I mean, not total shit, but like I haven't, like a lot of the people I follow, like the content there isn't no content anymore. That's part of the reason I thought maybe I should make videos, because I miss people making videos. Not as many people make videos anymore. It seems like everybody wants to just scream all the time. Now, I like screaming, don't get me wrong, but I think that content is great too. You know what I mean? I miss videos.
And I wonder if you didn't fall into the same trap I fell into, where I started watching certain types of content and narrowed my view and content, or stopped making content I didn't like. I kind of, oh no,
yeah,
YouTube isn't doing anything right now, dude. 500 fucking million hours of YouTube every day.
That's exactly what happened.
Like 500,000, but there is so much YouTube content out there. Pull your head out of the sand.
Yeah, I had to.
Stop watching Bearing and Sargon and go watch Logic or Desert File, or go back to the fucking Martimer still uploads videos. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
I gave up on the
out there.
I gave up on all the fucking, like, I mean, I'll still watch Bearing occasionally, but like all them people that are like SJW, like pretty much just straight SJW people, or anti-SJW people rather, I should say. I stopped watching them a long time ago. I've been like watching like history YouTubers a lot lately, and I like true crime shit and all kinds of stuff. I mean, there, like you said, there is all kinds of stuff on YouTube, and I can't specifically sit and watch atheism videos all day long. That isn't what rules my life. It's I mean, that's a small part of it. I mean, I guess in a way I can understand how Christians say, you know, atheism is a religion, because yeah, we do we do spend a little bit of time conversing about God, but it's not necessarily about God. It's about Christians. I mean, I don't hate God. I hate the way Christians act. Their demeanor and everything about them. You know, like it's actually most of them, not all. There's hashtag not all, but I mean, a lot of them have this self-righteous thing going, that they think they're better than you because, you know, because I don't go around screaming to everybody I'm an atheist, but I mean, like, if someone, like, you know, says I'll pray for you, I'm just like, yeah, okay, you know, like I never know. I'm not gonna thank them for that. I mean, I know they're just being nice, but I'm just not gonna do that. I mean, I'm not gonna reinforce their ideals of, you know, there's a God. I'm not gonna do that. If they believe it, good for them, you know. But I'm just not gonna. I mean, it might make me sound like an asshole. I'm just not gonna do it. Is there anything that you would like to make a YouTube channel or YouTube videos about that isn't involving skepticism or anything?
You know, other than like, yeah, I mean, I do want to branch out into other ideas of, I want to look at, you know what I mean? Things that I think are just fucking retarded.
Right. I don't want,
you know, those stupid things that people say, and it's about these common sayings that get regurgitated out of people's mouths that just don't fucking make any sense, don't hold any water. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what goes around comes around.
Right.
No, it fucking doesn't. It doesn't fucking come around.
No, you just happen to remember when it does.
In some sense, it does. If you treat people well, they're more inclined to treat you well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Karmic force that's keeping track of how many times you littered that day, so they can make sure you stub your toe that night.
I agree with you. I do believe
evil people get rich. I young and poor. You know, it's fucking karma is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, it is kind of
like
silly.
Skepticism, but those stupid things that people say. I think one of the ones that pisses me off so much is when I take a fucking rip off my vape pen and people go, "We get it, bro. You vape."
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a vaper.
I vape. So if you get it,
then don't say nothing.
Why are you even mentioning it? Because you get that I'm not doing it for your benefit, right? Yeah, I wanna address lots of stupid shit that I see. I'm probably gonna stay away from politics because washy and in the middle. I can't hardly say anything about politics without making everybody think or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Well, it depends on which side you're on. You think a Nazi or a cuck?
Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with politics. To be honest with you, I mean, like, I know this is probably it's a stupid thing to say, but I don't give a shit about it. I mean, I really don't care enough about politics to fucking, get that into it. I mean, there's really not a lot I can do. I'm a pragmatist, dude. I mean, I don't think one vote's going to make a difference. I mean, people can say all they want that it will, but let's be realistic, dude. One vote ain't going to make a difference. If everybody said that, then, well, everybody doesn't say that, so I ain't got to worry about that. And I think I would. I don't want to get stuck in the just making atheist videos, because I think, like you said, all dumb shit needs to be looked at and taken apart, maybe, or at least questioned. At the very least, questioned.
I am drinking way too much coffee, way too fast.
You're gonna have to go potty pretty soon, buddy. Have to go potty. Yeah. So, is there anybody in general that you've been watching more of lately than anybody else? I mean, what new shit have you been watching? Like you said, there are 5 million hours. What's the new content you've been checking out?
There's much new. I'm open to new content, though. I'm in this phase where I want new content. I'm interested in how the Drunken Peasants are going to go forward with their podcast.
Yeah,
Gotti and Paul. Or not, I don't know. I watched the first episode and it was good. They had Billy the Fridge and Bunty King on there. I really like Bunty King. I don't agree with everything he says, but I love his attitude. I love his approach to people. Calm, lighthearted demeanor. I think it's great. I think he's a blessing to the Twitterverse.
Yeah, he is a sweetheart. I guess that's a weird way of saying it, but he's a really nice guy. I think he's genuinely
I always like SciShow.
Yeah.
Great. I've fallen back into watching them a lot too. I don't care if you then this goes right back to social justice. Oh, people fucking right around the time people yelled at me for liking SciShow videos. The Green Brothers on the same side of politics as them.
Right.
Kidding me? I just want to know that the T-Rex had feathers. That's what I'm about.
I don't care what the Green Brothers think. I kind of like John Green, to be honest with you. Like fucking what is that one little list show they do?
I'm not sure. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, I like John Green. I think he's kind of amusing, to be honest with you. I think he has presence. That's why he's in front of the camera. He actually has something. I've been watching Top 10s a lot, and I found out today, I really like Simon Whistler. I don't know why. I think he's a good presenter.
Yeah, he is. He really is. He really is.
Yeah,
I gotta pee.
Go ahead, man. Go take a pee. I'll watch the chat, see what they're up to. How are y'all today? What's new? If you're expecting a commercial, you're not going to get one.
He's muted.
Hey, what's up? No, I just told them if they were expecting a commercial, they weren't going to get one, and I muted myself.
Okay. True believers are.
They were chatting amongst themselves, you know, like the good chat shit. You know what live streams are kind of like to me? They're like going to a bar almost. Like you can watch the main action or like sit and listen to your buddies next to you. You know, there's all kinds of shit going on. I mean, there's main shit going on, and there's side chat going on. So
debate in the chat right now. It's awesome. That's what I consider a successful live stream, especially when it's topical on the stuff that we're trying to talk about. This is exactly what we want. We want you guys in the chat fucking talking about this shit. An asshole, but don't worry about that. That's just me. Conversation and maybe somebody will learn something. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. That's what we're about.
Right. Right on. So
I'm just gonna be an asshole though. That's just who I am.
I mean, I've been watching a lot of. I like learning about. I've always liked myths and shit. So, I mean, like I watch a lot of like college lectures and shit. Actually, believe it or not, I mean, I know that sounds boring as shit, but I mean, if you're interested in the subject it's about, then it's not boring at all. I mean, to me anyway. But I'm a nerd. What can I say? So, is there anything you want to chat about, or do you need to get back to the kids? I can think of nothing else to ask you really. That pertains to atheism.
Yeah, for a little while longer, just shoot the shit or whatever you want to.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. So, what have you been up to lately?
Nothing, man.
Me neither. It's fucking so cold here, dude.
I was expected to get back from my trip and be like, fucking have work.
Yeah.
I've worked one day.
Wow.
I have to find a different job, man. It sucks. It's like I like my job and it's like a career, but just changed drastically. You know what I mean? So I might be living off the state this time next year.
Right. Or I mean,
if anybody wants to give me like $10,000 so I can hire a lawyer, that'd be really cool too. Just gonna throw that out there.
Or if you can get 1,000 subs and you can start super chatting, that'd be great too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
10,000 views so you can start getting monetary. You know, anything will help, guys.
Yeah, I need like 2,500 more views. I'd have that, but I deleted a fuck ton of videos off my channel.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm actually kind of happy with like 9 viewers. I've noticed that like I've got like I'm up to a whopping 87, but I am very grateful for all of you. So don't take it that way. But you know what I'm saying, 87. But anyway, but I've noticed that like if you go by like I've seen people with 1,000 fucking subs and they only get like 12 to 15 viewers at a time. So maybe it ain't so bad. I mean, at least a good percentage of mine are watching.
That's not, dude. Sub count is a very, very preliminary indication. It is the cover of the book you're judging. It is the fucking decimal code on it.
Right.
I have no idea what kind of viewership a channel is. I mean, it's a general gauge.
Right.
TJ Kirk is going to get more views than me. But TJ Kirk has 1 million subs, and he gets about 20,000 views on his videos these days.
That's actually
He's bleeding subs.
Yeah, that's a small percentage. Yeah, if you really think about it. I mean, but
has 58 million subs. He gets about 5 million views. That means there's 53 million people that ignore him every day. Yeah, people ignore PewDiePie every day.
Does he put up content regularly, like every day?
Every day.
Oh, wow. I've never seen one of his videos. I don't even know what he does, to be honest with you.
Dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
Man, he's earned his spot. He's good content.
I grew up in the 90s, so I'm kind of cynical. So it's almost like that mainstream fucking thing. Like, I don't know if I want to watch them, but you know,
I thought the same thing, man. When I first got into YouTube, I kept seeing this PewDiePie guy getting pushed into my feed because it was before it happened.
Right.
And I don't want to. I certainly don't want to watch what you're trying to make me watch because that's popular, and I don't want to do the thing that's popular. But eventually, I thought, fuck it, I ain't got nothing to watch. I'm gonna see what this PewDiePie shit's all about. People are talking about him, and I watched one video, and I fucking became a fan immediately.
Yeah, I mean, like, so
content.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's some, but like you said, like I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I mean, I like to think of myself as skeptical, but I think in every way, some people do irrational things. Everybody in life does irrational things in one way or another. No one can be totally rational and logical about everything all the time. Well, besides,
No, there's going to be
Spock.
times where emotions overcome you at the very least. You know what I mean?
Talking about emotions, I have you ever thought that maybe Christians feel what they feel? You know how they say, oh, "I feel it." Is that nothing more than an emotional response? Is that what they're feeling? An emotional response?
It's either an emotional response or a made-up excuse for why they believe what they believe. And I'm not being hypercritical when I say that. I'm saying there's actual hard psychological evidence that we make up reasons for why we did what we did after the fact.
Right. Yeah. I wonder about
those reasons.
I mean, because like when people say, well, you know, the Bible's true, I'm like, you know, it's a good. It was probably a way to, you know, they wrote it down so that, you know, it was a way to keep, you know, it was like a set of rules almost, like, you know, a good. And then they were writing down stories because that's what people did back then. I mean, it doesn't say if there's only one God, it should say, you know, I mean, the first commandment doesn't make any sense. You should, you know, no other gods before me. So are you implying there are other gods?
Oh yeah, if you read the Bible, it's very clear that yes, there are other gods, and Yahweh is the most powerful of them, and worshipped above all others. And those other gods get relegated to demon status later.
Yeah.
When what you call the Bible was written, talking about some, and we're all just looking at the past and considering it one time. The Bible were all written separately thousands of years, and were not compiled into the Bible until a couple thousand years after the last one was written. By the time became, they had already, like, the need for that was already gone. They'd already become a religion at that time. Just said about they needed to write down rules and stuff. That was already, the time for that was already long gone. It had already become a monster beyond anybody's control by the time the King James Bible was compiled.
You know, and you got to think, before the King James Bible, I mean, before the King James Bible was just when it was translated from Latin into English, wasn't it? Isn't that what King James did?
Latin?
Yeah, it was in Latin prior to that, because they had the.
That's what it said. What was
the Bible? It was in like Latin or Greek, wasn't it? Before that.
Any different? Okay, Bible means Bible means book, library.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the Holy Bible, like the
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question.
All right.
Means library or collection of books.
Yeah, like bibliothèque or whatever.
Okay. Genesis is a book. Exodus is a book. These books all existed separately. The Council of Nicaea did is they compiled them.
Yeah. And
they wanted
picked out the ones they didn't want.
Translated them from their respective languages. Some of them were written in Latin, but the New Testament was written in Greek, and most of the Old Testament was written in Hebrew or Aramaic, which is an ancient version of Hebrew. But the New Testament was written in Greek because it was written for Greeks.
Right. What I was getting at is I thought like that the medieval church, that the books were all the books, not, I mean, when I say the Bible, I mean the Bible as we know it today, was written in either Greek or Latin and was read to the congregations. I mean, they were illiterate, so I mean, so like they couldn't even understand the sermons anyway.
Well, so okay, and the Catholic Church claims to be the authority, and they claim that the Bible is basically a study guide. Authority to the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I haven't checked out Catholics in a long time.
And I was actually they discouraged the congregation from reading the Bible without the priest reading it to them to tell them how to interpret it. smart.
That's keeping a good hold on them. I mean, yeah, because I mean,
Well,
if anybody,
and
because
it makes,
they can cherry pick them.
yeah, they can
cherry pick
cherry
it.
pick to do so.
I wonder if they would ever sit down and like just like at a church and read from cover to cover, like every Sunday, come in and pick up where you left off. I mean, how many Christians would there be left after they were finished reading the whole Bible from cover to cover?
No shit, or right?
Was it like Mercolium said? It's just like a customs thing or like a cultural thing. Like they can't let go of it, because he's kind of right. I think that's part of it. Like I'm keeping a culture alive or a customs alive. But also, I mean, like if they've ever, I mean, how many Christians have ever read it all the way through, you know, from cover to cover?
Yeah, there's
Judaism? I don't believe so. Have you ever heard of Judaism, Stags?
Thursdayism. Yes, I have heard of last Thursdayism. It's Thursdayism, and it's the belief that the whole entire universe and all your memories and everything exists and has existed for at least your whole entire life since last Thursday. It's an ironic, sarcastic form of solipsism.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, what are the people that think they can live on oxygen alone? What are the guys called? Or without oxygen? With oxygen alone. Yeah. No, you can't live without oxygen. That's retarded. Oxygen alone.
They're called breatharians, and they're liar, pants on fires. They're all liars.
Well, obviously you can't live on oxygen alone. I mean, that just doesn't seem to make any sense. Food's kind of important. You know, we wouldn't have all these holes in our body if we didn't need it for something, right?
A very dead horse is in the chat.
Hey, horse, how are you, buddy? Actually, we're kind of just chatting now. If you'd like a link, horsey. Flat Earth Chew. I would just put the link in the chat, but I don't think that works anymore, does it?
I don't know if it works anymore or not.
I don't think it does. I'm just going to shoot him a link. I might shoot him a link on YouTube, and if he wants it, yeah, then he can come on in.
And the whole idea of solipsism, that we're in a simulation and nothing exists, that to me is another completely useless proposition, because you presuppose existence. And I've always thought this, even when I was a kid and people thought they were being deep at me and they're like, what if this is all just a dream that we have to do, so we might as well treat it as real? Because when I go to sleep at night, I have dreams, and then when I wake up back into this dream, I feel pain and I have to eat. Even if it is a dream, I might as well treat it as real, because that's where we're at. It's a useless proposition. Also viable. There's no reason to even consider it. Nothing to be gained from it.
Right. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to look up horse on Twitter so I can send him a tweet, or so I can send him a message.
Pressure Emmett into making his own channel. I actually have an Emmett channel, so I can go troll people's chats and shit like that, but I haven't uploaded anything to there. Maybe I should. Emmett and Staggerson channels.
Check out your
two separate channels.
Check out your tweeter, horse. Oh, I could.
Yeah, I have absolutely no concern for solipsism. I think it's ridiculous.
So, you want to come in, Cabbage? I don't know any way to. You don't have a Twitter. I don't want to just. I could direct message it to you, I suppose. Old Cabbage Patch. He's always entertaining.
Pascal's wager always trying to start shit with me, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe that's why I kind of want to invite him in.
Yes, I can prove the evidence that we need food. It's easy. It's.
Bam! I sent you a link.
on Discord.
I was just humming, "Why can't we be friends?" I don't know where that came from.
Huh.
Why can't we be friends?
Why can't we be friends? I've been going through this purge since the beginning of the year, and I think it might have something to do with getting my kids back and changing my complete fucking mindset on everything. I just have no patience for more, you know what I mean? Like, I've been unfollowing people, I've been unsubscribing from people. I told Rev off, I fucking told tons of people off, and blocked a bunch of people, and I don't give a fuck. And people are telling me, "Why are you spending so much energy worrying about these people?" I'm not.
Right.
That's exactly the thing. This is me not spending my energy on them. I'm just fucking shirking them. I spent way more energy trying to navigate an amiable relationship with these people I couldn't really stand. I don't have the fucking patience to do that anymore, and I don't need to. It's silly to me. I can fucking get rid of that shit. I don't need it in my life.
Right. To be honest with you, I thought that you would blow off Rev way sooner than you did, because you have a very, very short tolerance for bullshit. I mean, I'm pretty easygoing, but you do really have a short leash when it comes to bullshit. You don't put up with it very well. So I kind of was. I seen that one coming, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh, quit it, queer. You're not that bad at all. You gotta quit talking shit on yourself all the time.
Self-deprecating, the most self-deprecating person I know.
Yeah, quit it. It doesn't look good on you. It doesn't look good on anybody, to be honest with you. I'm gonna figure out the links. Linky. Oh, Cabbage did. Bam. What's up, Cabbage? How are you, buddy?
Hey.
How are you, my favorite limey in the world?
I'm doing very well. How about you, my favorite?
I'm doing all right, buddy. About your favorite American? Yeehaw!
Well, I was thinking about ground-based.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, yeah, American. It can be good.
All right, I could be your favorite ground digger. That's cool.
Subterranean rodent.
Yeah. So you're better than badgers.
Underground apostate. How about that one? It's like unholy mole, kind of.
Yeah.
Subterranean unbeliever. There could be all kinds of them.
Yeah, it was an interesting discussion tonight, I've got to say. Although you did fall in those wages, part of what you said.
I'm sorry?
You fell into Pascal's wager. Yeah.
I did?
Because you're saying, I can't prove anything else, therefore I must believe this because it's the best way for me to survive, I suppose. You know, like the Pascal's wager is, you know, if you have to believe in God just on the basis that maybe it's true.
Yeah.
No, because at it, I don't believe that there may be some similarities, but anybody has to decide what sort of a they're going to take with regards to beliefs, and they're going to have reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
A very specific proposition about God.
Yeah, I said Pascal-like.
Maybe it might be, but we have to have some way of thinking. You're roboting pretty bad. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Howdy,
horsey.
Sorry, I've got to get whenever somebody sends me an invite, I've got to like figure out which computer is going to actually. Today it is not my Mac.
That's cool.
I think I sat there for like hours the other day, and I thought I was like, is it something I downloaded? Is there something on my PC? And I was like, no, it's just my motherboard is something overheated, and something's probably burnt out or something.
Yeah. So you've been playing guitar?
I have. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of different stuff. I got myself traded some amps for an amp. So
what kind of amps you end up getting?
I've got a Hot Rod Deluxe right now. Limited, some sort of limited edition red one, which is pretty cool. I think it's nice to look at. Sits there and it plays. It sounds pretty good.
It's pretty. Is it all one? Is it all one piece, or is it like a cab and a?
No, it's a combo. Yeah, it's a combo. It's everything's all together.
That's cool.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
it's really freaking loud. So I might have to do a few things and modify it and make it not quite so loud.
How many watts is it?
42 watts. So.
Oh wow, it's a tube amp.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's got
so
nice and rich sounding, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't know if you understand the difference, but like there's like a huge difference between a tube amp and a solid state amp as far as
Oh, I know the difference. Okay,
the
so-
loudness factor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know the difference. Also, sound quality. I mean, like tube amps just have that warm sound to them because the tubes, the heat. It's just a different sound. You can tell listening to like '60s music and modern music whether you're using a solid state amp or a fucking tube amp.
yeah.
Big time.
Where'd Cabbage go?
I don't know. I think he might have
He probably
dropped out. His computer acts wonky sometimes.
yeah.
I think it's his internet. It just acts wonky at times.
Stags, I'm really digging the Hezekiah beard.
Yeah, I like it.
It's pretty dope.
I want to get you a
You know
straw
what?
hat.
It's not a fashion statement. It's purely utility. I fucking get sick of the mustache getting in my coffee, and then when I take a sip of coffee and then I say something, fucking coffee splatters all over my fucking computer.
Yeah,
So I
had the
just shave
same
it off
thing.
and let it grow back.
Yeah. When
I
my,
had the
I hate
same
when
thing.
water gets in your mustache and it feels like ants are crawling on your lip. You know what I'm talking about? Like that creepy crawly feeling.
Yeah.
It's always a fun time.
Yeah, I would just be lazy and have a Hezekiah beard because the only thing I would shave is my mustache. But now I've got the whole Robert Downey Jr. thing going on. So
Nice.
Yeah, I want to get you a straw hat now, kind of Stags. Now that you mentioned that, you make a handsome Amish man.
or you could be a Ginger Lincoln.
I would draw a trilby and modify it into a trilby / cowboy hat type thing.
Yeah.
Like that. That's fucking
That looks
badass.
Amish. That looks kind of Amish. It could pass. I think that could pass. Maybe.
My
No,
favorite
it's
hat.
like a hipster Amish
Yeah.
hat.
Yeah, I can't really wear it with the headphones on.
An Amish fedora.
An Amish fedora. There you go. It's a little ostentatious for an Amish person, I think. You better say some extra prayers or something, buddy.
Leave that top button undone.
I'm jealous. They don't have to pay taxes.
I see a little ankle, man. She turned me on.
Amish don't have to pay taxes.
Are you
It's
serious?
supposed to be great.
Is it like is it like a religious thing? I never heard that.
Taxation is theft.
Yeah, tax exempt.
I don't think that. But
Road.
And they don't have to worry about that, man. They get carriages. They go whatever they want.
They go on my fields and my roads, wherever they want to go.
Yeah, they get to work so hard. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you're really into building barns, there's not much better way to live your life.
How many
I
They make
love
some
building shit. I got a
these
circular
people make?
saw. I got a Milwaukee drill
They
set.
make
I
some
got a
damn
fucking
fine
level. Yeah.
They make some damn fine wood shit, though, man.
That they do. That
I
they
got
do.
a
What is
I
it?
think that- I
compressor, I got fucking nail guns.
I think they use modern technology when it comes to their building shit because if they're making money from it, then they'll use it. Whatever is convenient for them, but they don't want it to take away from God or
I
whatnot.
think there's
There are different
There's a
sects
different-
of Amish that all do
Yeah.
it a little bit differently.
there's
I'm sure
like
there's
the
some that
Amish.
are hardcore.
There's the Amish and the it starts with an M. Mennonites.
Yeah, the Mennonites. Amish
I think
light.
it's the Mennonites or Amish light. They're the ones that don't that are cool with like I'm not sure if they drive cars. Oh yeah, the Mennonites can drive cars. They just can't be like over the top. They have to be like plain. So
Like
like
maybe a Cadillac with 20s and shit.
so literally I've seen them paint the rims black. And they made the car look ugly just on purpose so they can
Hold on.
drive around.
So this is what I don't get about. This is where I see cognitive dissonance in their whole not be fancy thing. First of all, those dudes look sharp in all black. Second of all, they murdered out their car to not be fancy.
Pretty much. But it's okay, but it's usually it's not the right car to murder out anyway. But yeah,
paint on the side.
You know, if I was a Mennonite, you know, I'd have me straight up a Cadillac XLR all murdered out, and you're like, oh, just in case anybody doesn't know, that's the one that looks like the Corvette, but it's a Cadillac, and it kind of looks like the animated series Batman car. So
I want one.
It's pretty freaking dope.
I want one.
Yeah. I think they started making them.
Horse and buggy with fucking spinners on the buggy.
I'd have the dopest black. I'd have the dopest black horses.
Right. All white or all black. Pimped out horses.
Oh yeah. Just the blackest.
Got some silver flecks in there as well.
Yeah.
Have like all silver hardware.
Like spikes on the reins and shit.
We get kicked out of our Amish sect.
Would be the goth
custom license plate that says low tech. Custom license plate says low tech.
That's great.
Made entirely out of like wood.
Wood, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we could start our
Imagine
own
one of those carriages with, with one of those, the carriages behind the horse, with the pimped up suspension. It's get it bouncing.
I think I need to talk to Mad Dodge and some other libertarians. Just come up with our own religion where we don't have to pay any taxes.
Knock some. Yeah, there you go. Mad would probably be down with that, dude. I'm sure he would.
I know he would.
I'm sure he'd be cool with that. I'm
surprised
he's not in the chat, to be honest.
But why not go for a religion that's got like the highest tech? Become Jedis and stuff. Then you can have anything you want whatsoever. Yeah, you can.
No, in that case, I'll be.
I already have the highest tech, man. Smoke pot, then you'll have the highest tech.
Yeah,
my tech is high as shit. Have you guys ever seen that show on?
Hold on, sorry.
You're all right. Have you ever seen that show on Netflix called Disjointed? I think it's called Disjointed anyway.
No,
it's pretty funny. It's a pothead comedy. You might not enjoy it. It's kind of dumb, but it's funny. If you're a pothead. Okay.
You know what?
Sure.
When I watched, the first time I ever watched it was probably before I might have had smoked weed once or twice in my life. I was like 13 or something like that. I thought it was the funniest movie. I watched it a few times. Great, funny movie. Started to become more of a pothead and more of an actual person. I remember watching that movie in my 20s, stoned as fuck. And all I could think the whole time is, why is Jim Brewer acting like such a fucking douchebag? This is the stupidest fucking, I'm like smoking a joint going and like mad at Jim Brewer. Like, you're a fucking idiot. Don't act like that. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah, especially the end of it where he happy. I'm a Mary Jane. I'm going to go with the girl, not the joint.
Yeah, give me a break.
You know what's funny? Jim Brewer's not even really a pothead.
He looks like one. Yeah, he does.
He literally just looks like that.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole reason.
He doesn't know what to. Yeah. Okay. That adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you watch his stand up, it's pretty funny. But he doesn't actually smoke that much pot. I don't think he might not even smoke any pot. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I've seen a special of his where he talks about his kids. So he's like a dad kind of guy now. Like, he doesn't do shit. I don't think. Not that I mean that dads don't smoke pot, but I mean he gave the impression that he did. Now that he's a dad, is what I'd be saying.
Yeah.
So he'd be square.
Since I've had my kids back, I just haven't really been motivated to. I mean, I haven't bought any. I mean, everyone, I haven't really had any money to, but I got some resin. I'll take a couple hits at night, and it's like, meh. I just my friends call me during the day. Come over, get stoned. I'm like, no, I don't, man. I fucking got shit to do.
Right. I mean, I get stoned when I want to get stoned. I'm an adult, though. I can afford my own pot, so I don't have to go get high with my buddies. Someone asked me the other day, do I want to go on a country cruise? I'm like, no. Why the fuck would I, dude? I'm not fucking 16. Drive around.
Yeah, why don't we just go to the police station and smoke there?
Up in the fucking parking lot or something. You want to go fucking be stupid?
Yeah.
I don't want $100 ticket for nothing, dude. To be honest with you, I mean, it's decriminalized here in Illinois. It's only $100 ticket, but still, not my idea of a good time. I mean, it could be fun if you like going to jail and that sort of thing. Your dog wants on horse, I think.
I think so.
Give him a headset. He's got a lot of shit to say. The dog's vocal. Oh, really? Is that what you think, doggy? So what's new, Cabbage? You're watching rugby?
No, not a lot at the moment.
Was that racist? Was that racist? I asked you if you've been watching rugby. I mean,
no,
if I'm making fun of you for being British. I'm not making fun. I'm making fun of rugby.
It's a reasonable question. It's an adult
reasonable question.
No, not
have you
really.
colored any pictures lately?
Any what?
You said it was an adult question, so I asked you a child one. I asked you if you'd colored any pictures lately.
I'm on join the dots at the moment. I don't want to
cool.
up too much. I might color them in after. Yeah. Try and stay in the line.
I've never been good at coloring. I don't follow the. I've just never been good at following rules. Never been good at it. Not my
the numbers, and you I can color it in the corresponding color to the number.
Painting by numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you are? I'm
That's
sorry.
all Rembrandt did, you know. Just
understandable.
think he was so good. Just paint by numbers.
Yeah, I like to paint. I don't know if I'm good at it, but I enjoy doing it. So I guess that's what being an artist is all about, right?
I haven't got an artistic bone in my body.
Really?
Yeah. I can't.
I've always been somewhat artistic. Guitar, drawing, painting.
Art. Sorry.
Yeah, art. I think art crosses boundaries. You play the guitar? Do you also draw, horse, or are you artistic in other ways? Yeah, I think it seems like it's just, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with the way our brains are wired.
Yeah, that's why artistic and autistic are very close.
Yeah, they are. Artists are fucking fickle people, man. We are really fickle people. We get mad about some silly shit.
I used to play the trumpet and things, but I've never been driven to it.
Oh, okay. Did you? I mean, was that more? Did you choose to play it though?
Well, it was at school. You had to choose an instrument. I mean, we started off.
Oh,
with
you had to.
Yeah, well, you had to pick an instrument, but I did choose the trumpet myself. Yeah.
Well,
and
I mean,
after
choose to become a trumpet player because you thought it was cool. Like here, we if we want to join band, we can, but if we don't want to, we don't have to. I mean, they don't ever force us to do anything besides say shit like the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff like that. I mean, they forced us to do a lot of shit in school, but I mean, they didn't force us to play instruments.
Yeah, we did have that. You always had, your.
You guys had to go to religious studies and shit, didn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, and well, no, not only that, we had to go to chapel every morning. I mean, 8:30 every morning.
Yeah, because school so church and state are definitely not separate in the UK, right?
No.
I didn't think so.
Because don't they have a higher percentage of atheists than we do?
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Because you get forced to do it every fucking morning, and eventually you say, God damn it, leave me alone. Pricks.
Isn't it up like 40% or something?
That's
pretty high. What's China's but theirs might be a little bit their numbers might be crunched a little bit. What's China's atheist rate?
I don't know, but if I lived in China, I probably wouldn't believe in God either.
Right.
But are the Chinese, I mean, what are they, Buddhists or Taoists or something?
Buddhists, or mostly Buddhists, I believe. I think they might have like ancient, Chinese, strictly Chinese religions where like ancestor worship or whatever. I know that's pretty common in the Far East.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't know. But I was just saying their numbers probably are crunched. Even if we did get a stat, the state's going to say it's a lot higher than it really is because they're atheists. So Or lower.
Yeah, but you got a lot of people who say that they're atheists, but then in the next breath they'll say that they believe in spiritual things. You know?
Yeah, that's. I don't consider that an atheist either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's.
I think the only requirement to be considered an atheist is that the number of gods you believe in is 0.
Right. Okay. But what do you call spiritualism? Oh, spiritualism. Duh. I guess you could call it spiritualism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't believe there are any gods, you're an atheist, whether you call yourself that or not.
Yeah. We only believe in one less God than Christians do. I don't see what the big fucking deal is.
Yep.
Man, paganism's coming back. Actually, good appropriate timing with all these fucking.
We were talking.
Those are the people who kicked the shit out of them last time.
We were talking about Bertrand Russell earlier. He isn't the same guy. Wasn't there a British guy that like ran around in the nude and shit back in the 1920s or 30s?
Probably.
He had like a big bushy beard and fucking white hair. I think it might have been the same guy. I don't know though.
I
could be wrong. I might.
I think you're thinking of Lady Godiva. It's very different.
No,
it could have been a trap. It could have been a trap. I don't know. I wasn't there.
It might have been a trap. I don't know.
Could have been.
A naked dude on a horse. I don't remember anything like that.
I never said he was on a horse. I said he ran around naked, like he enjoyed nudism and shit.
No, he was just imagining a horse.
He was riding a unicorn.
Yeah, I don't know. Old
God,
guy running around naked. Oh, hang on. Are you meaning Mad King George?
No, I'm not talking about King George III.
No, because he went mad.
It was like a guy in the 1920s. Yeah, he was a mad bastard, though, wasn't he?
Oh, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue.
I want to throw something out there because these guys are having this silly argument in the chat, and I typed in this gotcha bullshit is hilarious, and they're just like, they don't get that I just think it's a ridiculous situation going on in there, and I don't care. They're fucking.
You guys not playing nice.
What are you guys? What are you guys arguing about here?
We're not arguing about anything.
No, I mean,
Napoleon and having an argument, and I told existential fans humanism that I thought what he was saying was a little bit ridiculous, and he carried on his ridiculousness to try to explain to me why he said what he said, and I just don't fucking care.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention to him, but okay, cool.
I need to stop.
I encourage their banter if they would like to banter. You know, it's fine. Like I said, a stream is like a bar, man. Like there's shit going on the side. Someone smoke crack.
I closed chat. I'm not watching it. I closed chat. I'm not watching that anymore. Fuck it. I'm talking to you guys.
Someone smoke crack in the bathroom, getting a handy under the bar. It's all kinds of shit going on. Just not around here. Huh.
Hell yeah.
So I asked these guys earlier, have you guys ever heard of Richard Carrier? I think he's fucking brilliant.
Make air conditioners?
Huh?
Does he make air conditioners?
No, not that, Richard. No, not that Carrier, silly. I hope you're being facetious. No, I want to say he's like a professor of like ancient languages or something. What is the exact? Do you know what his credentials are exactly, Stags?
I'm not really sure. I'm not that familiar with him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know he's
that I watch a lot, but
I'm pretty sure he's a professor of something though, or he has a PhD of some kind. Yeah. I mean, he talks about like ancient languages and like old books or maybe he's a historian of some kind. I don't know. But he's pretty. You
say he's brilliant, but you don't know fuck all about it. What's wrong with you?
He does something, I'm sure.
He sounded brilliant. I just don't know what his exact title is.
I'm sure he does something.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
He's alive.
That did sound like a pothead.
That one dude, he's pretty smart. I don't know what he does, but he's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Hey, lady! No,
I don't know, but he's got a head, he's got legs.
Look like
that I give vague answers at times. Quit it. I'm king of the vague answers.
You look like a man.
It just amazes me. You're asking us if we know anything about him because you find so interesting. You can't even give us a fucking idea of who he is.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why I asked you if you knew anything about him because I didn't know shit.
I don't know anything about this guy.
I mean, about this guy, I think he's brilliant.
No, he seemed brilliant then. All right, Stephen Hawking's brilliant too, and he talks like this. I mean, he doesn't give you the first impression that he's brilliant, does he? If you just seen him walk wheeling down the road, you wouldn't be like, that guy's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, but nobody knows, because that could just be picking up like cab drivers talking bullshit.
Yeah. That's what it's been all along, just like the fucking him.
Electronics have just been picking up mad cab drivers talking nonsense.
That's funny. That is pretty funny. Yeah, I know, but Richard Carey, he's got a PhD in something. I just don't know what exactly.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'll look it up, you fucking jerks. Fine.
That guy, Richard, he's smart about something.
He's fucking, get out of here.
I know he knows something. I know he knows something. I'm not sure what it is, but I know he knows something.
I'm fucking walking here.
Richard Pontus Carrier is an American historian, atheist activist, author, public speaker, and blogger. Carrier has a doctorate in ancient history from Columbia University, where his thesis was on the history of science and antiquity.
I told you knew something.
He's a doctor.
I just didn't know what
doctor.
Huh? Yeah, he's a fucking doctor. He's a doctor of, like, Dr. Gonzo. A doctor of journalism.
Ancient history.
No,
yeah,
that
you're
is
trying to sandbag a doctor of journalism.
He's not a proper doctor.
But feed booze to these damn animals. Sorry, I went on a little Fear and Loathing thing. It's my favorite movie ever.
It is a good movie.
Which one?
True story.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, Hunter Thompson's awesome.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp did a really good job of playing him, though. He
did.
He was spot on with the mannerisms and shit.
Brilliant.
Both movies. Great. And I don't know how.
Wasn't Woody Harrelson was in it too, wasn't he?
He was the kid that they were like.
Good job.
That dude's underrated.
And Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's underrated.
Woody Harrelson.
I think he should do more stuff.
What's that?
Hold on.
Wait, go ahead.
Woody Harrelson.
Underrated. Yes.
He is very underrated. But he did a fantastic.
Yeah, that's.
No, I just mean in general as an actor. Like,
are you talking about Tobey Maguire?
Woody Harrelson is underrated as an actor. He needs to be more things.
He was not in Fear and Loathing.
Fear and Loathing. No, he was in Natural Born Killers.
Oh, that was it. Natural Born Killers. Yeah. No, it was me. I was asking because I was trying to remember who the other guy was in the car.
Oh, Maguire. Oh, it was Benicio del Toro. It was Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro. Yeah.
The hotel scene is fucking hilarious, man.
Oh man!
And then go out into the desert.
I love when he's like, "Where'd you get that big fucking knife?" Set it up to cut the limes. He goes, "Limes? What limes? There aren't any. They don't grow in the desert."
I remember reading the book.
He's like, "Do you see what God just did to this man?" He's like, "God didn't do that. You're a fucking narcotics agent. I knew it."
The thing is, when I read the book and then the film came out, it was identical. It was so weird. It was like they plucked it out of my head. Now, like you say, Johnny Depp did fucking brilliant.
Yeah, and they did a really good job of portraying the book in a movie. I mean, that's a fucking crazy book too.
It happens very rarely.
Okay, so Johnny Depp
just right.
Johnny Depp also played Hunter S. Thompson in the Rum Diaries. And he also narrated a documentary on Hunter S. Thompson called Gonzo. Yeah,
they were really good friends, I believe. Yeah. I mean, after because he followed him around and shit to get his mannerisms down and all that shit, and they became very close. But that movie's fucking, it's phenomenal. It's great. The part where he's like,
Thompson once got shit kicked out of him by the Hells Angels because he tried to stop some people for like doing a gang rape, or somebody was beating his wife or something like that. Oh no, the gang rape he didn't try to stop. I don't know if it was a gang. I shouldn't say rape. Just a good old fashioned consensual gang bang. It's Hell's Angels party, but he tried to stop one of the Hell's Angels from beating his wife, and they all kicked the fuck out of him.
Oh wow. Yeah. You don't want to cross Hell's Angels. Probably not a good idea.
He did though.
Yeah, he always lived on the edge though, man. He was. Oh, yeah. I liked the way he wrote all choppy, and then in other ways he'd go into way too much detail and use just crazy ass words. He was great. Because Gonzo Jagz.
Exactly, Gonzo. You know, I mean, he created the whole way of doing that with Rolling Stone magazine. That's really what gave them the platform, wasn't it? It was him.
Yeah. Did you ever read Fear and Loathing on the campaign trail? The thing about Richard following the Democratic Party of
following Nixon.
Yeah, it was pretty good. He writes, he talks like that. I mean, like Fear and Loathing. That's the funny thing is, like, I'm pretty sure he talks just like he writes. Like, I mean, he's like that traitorous pig, you know, and shit like that. He's always like, he's just there's just like I can see Hunter Thompson going to Vegas. I think that's semi-true actually. I mean, I think it's based on true events anyway, not a full true story. Might be elaborated in some way.
No, it's I think
it's
pretty much
his remembrance of it. Yeah. Well, but it's his memory of it and his interpretation through his, you know, drug-crazed adult brain, you know, at the time.
Yeah, because they do say they went on a drug-fueled adventure, like they had a briefcase full of drugs. So,
and that movie should not be watched by teenagers, I don't think, because I watched it as a teenager, and to me, it romanticized drug use. Watching it as an adult, there is a reason it is called Fear and Loathing.
Yeah,
because it is not a romantic experience. It was a terrifying experience. It's a horrible fucking experience.
And when you watch it as an adult, it does portray that, like the fucking part where he's tripping on acid and he puts him in the bathtub and shit, starts throwing oranges at him and locks him in there. You know what I mean?
To a teenager, that's funny. To an adult that's done drugs, you go, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's terrifying. And like the part where he brings that young girl up to the hotel room. Yeah, there's some really dark parts in that shit, dude.
There is.
Or that Adrenochrome, like, how did you get this shit, man? He's like, I fucking know some Satanists. I fucking only place you can get this from a live body, you know. So there's some.
That was thyroid or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was
adrenochrome, adrenal gland. There's some really dark parts.
Not the pineal, right?
Or something like that. There's some really dark parts in that movie.
Yeah.
Really dark.
Yeah.
Have you ever read A Clockwork Orange as opposed to watching the movie as well?
No.
Clockwork Orange, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's one extra chapter in there Anthony Burgess put in there that's not in it like goes on after the movie stops. Do you remember that? I can't remember what it does now, but I know it goes on after. I think he goes back to his droogie ways, if I remember right.
I have to go back and I read that when I was in my 20s, so yeah, it's good. 20 plus years ago.
Yeah, it's a good book.
But I mean, the film's good. I mean, it was a fair it was a fair translation, I think.
Who played Alex? I can't remember. He's a really good actor. What's his name?
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, that's it. He played that movie was terrifying, dude.
It is. It really does. But that's the thing that gets me is it would be so easy to get that way. You know, all you need is a little societal breakdown, and hey, you know, it all goes to shit like that.
I never could figure out what they were drinking in the milk bar, though. Besides milk, there was something in that shit. What was in it?
It's vague. It's undefined.
Yeah, they never define it. I wonder what it was, though. Trying to think of.
I thought that's the whole point. It was about milk. It was like purity. It was just. I didn't think there was anything in the milk.
Oh, really? They were just assholes?
Yeah, that's what it's.
That's the whole point. That's what makes it scarier, is that these people, you know,
weren't on drugs.
Yeah.
Milk. Yeah. They're like straight edgers.
There's no excuse for it. Their behavior was just, you know, outright brutal.
Yeah. I think that was the whole point, too, is to portray just like youth gone wild. Literally. I mean,
you couldn't excuse it with drugs. These were just people who were just barbaric, you know?
Right.
But I mean, that's the only way I took it. I don't know. I never thought
that was good stuff. I mean, I always assumed. I guess I never really thought about it that way, but that is a good way of looking at it. Holy shit! There's 2 horses. They're multiplying.
Hey,
double the horse.
Double the horse, double the pleasure.
Double the horsepower. Here we go.
I'm gonna get my stream revved up.
We just dropped a cylinder.
Oh no.
Just
sorry,
like
I couldn't stay still. I had to. I've got to do things. So.
Yeah, to do things, huh? What kind of things, man? What kind of things?
I've got to straighten up so I can get ready for this stream.
Cool. You got a stream tonight? Who you gonna have on?
Oh, we're working on it. I've got to make sure everything will work.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about your computer being a bitch to you.
Yeah. What sucks is it usually runs like a dream, because it's got like 16 gigs of RAM in it, and
If anything like
a
my
hybrid
dream,
drive,
terrifying.
and a hybrid drive, and it's normally running, and now it's running like garbage. Like literally, like if you took a Windows 3.1 machine and you're just waiting.
Windows 95.
Yeah, and you're just waiting on it to boot up.
Yeah, remember porn in the
Fucking
90s?
terrible.
It was horrible.
Oh, fuck, you remember ASCII porn?
Man.
Even worse.
5 hours for a fucking image upload.
Do you know how long it took me to see a boob?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was like, I'm going to try this quick before my parents get home.
Right.
Yeah. I remember pickpost.com, man. I'd go to there and there would just be a list of links. And you'd click on each link and it would bring up a picture. And you'd wait for it to load to decide if that's what you're going to fap to or not. And yeah, and then if you didn't like that one, you'd go back and go to the next one until you found one you could fap to.
Not millions of gigs of porn.
Through thumbnails.
You know what?
You know what I
Porn
mean?
is almost overwhelming now. Like, there's so much choice. You're like, Jesus Christ, man, I don't know what to watch. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Usually the weird
I
shit.
tell you.
It's hedonism time.
The weirder, the better. I'm glad I don't know your real name. It's probably a serial killer. Aren't you, Horsey? The weirder, the better.
Only on the weekends.
Well, you definitely won't find a horse head in the bed. So,
You might get some horse head in the bed, though.
Not a real one, anyway.
See what I did there?
I see what you did there. You're clever head of cabbage.
Sure. I'm glad you went back to your original avatar. I like that one the best.
Thank you. Me too.
I like the disembodied head floating on a fucking cabbage leaf. It'd be cooler if
there's
there's like
people out when they just see the blue eyes staring at the you know, if I go on one of my rants, you know.
You kind of look like a drunken uncle's baby.
With a man behind it.
You look like drunken uncle's baby. That's what you look like.
But we'll have to do a
What the fuck is going on in there?
Sorry. I didn't realize how loud that was.
All right, guys. I think I got to go now and fix my kids some dinner.
That's all right. I mean, we can wrap her up anyway. I want to cook me some dinner myself. It's after 6. So, and that would give Horsey a chance to get his shit going too. So, if you're streaming later, I'll come and check out, hop in the chat, and give it a watch. Horse. Thank you guys all for coming, and thank everybody for watching. This is Mole, and I'm out. Oh shit! Pushed the wrong button, guys. I want to end the broadcast, not hang up you.
This is a professional organization.